This is the Art Beauty Podcast where we tell the real truth about the fake shit. Hi, everybody. I'm Amber, and today my fabulous co-host is Miss Elina Sophia Wang. She is the founder of ESW Beauty, and in case you didn't catch that, that is her initials. And this is a brand that you've probably seen because it's popping up everywhere, from Nordstrom's to Crate and Barrel to Whole Foods. And what she is doing is she is making clean beauty accessible and affordable for everybody. I'm so honored to have you today on the show. Welcome, Elina.
Thank you so much for having me today.
So, I have to just start by saying, and this isn't to sound ageist, but you are incredibly young to be an entrepreneur, right? In your mid-20s? Are we allowed
Yes,
to ask that? Okay.
25, exactly mid.
I mean, and what a big deal. You are in major retail stores with ESW Beauty.
Thank you. Yeah, it was quite a journey. So I started 3 years ago, and it's crazy to see that we are now, we're still here, which is good because they say I think 80% of the businesses, within 3 years don't make it. So, I'm grateful to be here and being able to share our products and being the retailers that we are.
That is, I mean, but they're not like little mom and pop shop, and no offense to little mom and pop shops, because, as a New Yorker, they thrive here and we love that neighborhood feel. But I mean, how did you get ESW Beauty into such major retail chains?
Yes. Um, well, definitely meeting through trade shows. I met a lot
Okay.
of buyers and had the opportunity to, introduce our brand, and then a lot of just cold pitching on
Right.
LinkedIn. But to kind of give some insight. So I had the idea of ESW Beauty in January of 2019.
Okay.
And I did have some experience before with working for family business. So I had the opportunity to have I had a quicker understanding and a faster manufacturing time. And we went to our first trade show, Cosmoprof of 2019, that summer. And then we launched in our first retailer in November. And I just remember I just had no shame. Like I would literally, like you're not supposed to, but I would literally walk out of the booth and just be like, "Hi, how are you? My name is Elina. This is ESW Beauty or Clean Beauty skincare brand," and just have no shame. And half the time, we were a baby brand, no one knew us. People would say, "Oh, I'm not interested," and that's okay, that's fine. And then when we got that opportunity, our first retailer was just through like 10 no's, the 11th yes. And I
Amazing.
felt like that was so cool. So
I feel like what a great message to, remind people, especially, going into 2023, hustle, hit, never quit. Right. And that's what we need to do. Certainly an impressive story, especially coming from somebody so young. Let's talk for people who might not know what ESW Beauty is. Let's talk a little bit
sure.
about what your product line is, because it is a line of clean beauty masks and tools. And I also know you have some
Hmm.
gear now too, right?
Yes, yes, we do. Thank you for noticing.
I think it's
Um,
great. Yeah, but let's start with the masks. Tell us a little bit about what they are and how you came up with them.
yeah, of course. Um, so to give a quick intro on, my story. So I struggled with stomach ulcers for many years. This was a health issue that I would have since, middle school up until college. It got gradually worse. And I think it really came from eating bad, not knowing how to manage my schedule, like having late nights and just being, very overwhelmed and being very stressed with a lot of things going on. And I really decided, you know what, because it got to an extent in college where I would be really sick and missing classes and social events. And I just did not want that anymore because who does? And I would be in so much pain that, it would just come up and I'm not able to get out of bed and move. And that's when I realized I have to reevaluate my lifestyle. So that went from everything like my nutrition, my diet to, my sleep schedule and learning how to manage my stress better. I would eat healthier, eat more clean, more fresh produce, more protein. And, along the way, I felt, kind of bored here and there because I felt like it was the same thing. So that's when I discovered some more playful and fun alternatives like raw juices. And that was the inspiration behind my first line of product. And around the same time, so okay, I had a lot going on. I worked for my family business, and they did a lot of B2B. So it was behind the scenes distribution, and we did a lot of Korean beauty distribution. And this was
Okay.
when K-beauty was the rage,
Right.
2014, no, 2014 to 2019. And we, had the opportunity to introduce a lot of brands to retailers, and I work for my mom. And from that opportunity, I got to try out a lot of different products. And I loved sheet masks because for me, they were exactly what I needed when I had those nights when I was not feeling well and sick and couldn't get out of bed. I didn't want to not take care of my skin. So they were a
Right.
quick 15-minute, I can do it in my bed and still feel like my skin is well nourished before I slept, or midday, I needed something to feel a little better. My sheet mask came in and, it didn't fix my problems, but it definitely made me feel, a little better and enhance my mood. And that's when I
You know,
realized that I wanted, oh, go ahead.
I want to stop you there because we're getting a lot of information, but I've got so many questions for you. First of
Yeah,
all, let me
sure.
just second that sheet masks are life. I am in the middle of like getting back on retinol. And,
Hmm.
if you've heard of the retinol uglies, it's not been a really pretty sight, but the sheet masks have been saving me because it really helps to plump up and add that moisture back
Yes.
in ways that are just insane. I do want to ask you because, when you were talking about having ulcers, was that something that runs in your family?
Yes. So actually,
Okay.
my parents both have struggled with it. And I think
Okay.
it's kind of like different periods of your life. I do believe it is genetics, and that's what my doctors have told me. But also, it is your lifestyle.
Right.
So I do have stomach pain still. It's not like I, eliminated them, but it's in less frequency. And when it does happen, I know how to better take care of myself.
And the reason I was asking is because, you hear about stomach ulcers, but for somebody who's so young when you're in college, it's kind
Hmm.
of unheard of. And, you know, I was going to ask you, like, what were you eating that was so toxic? Because I feel like everybody in college is not really taking great care of themselves. But okay, so this is something that maybe you're genetically predisposed to, but still it
Hmm.
made you realize you needed to take on a healthier approach to life.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So I ate, I think it was the long nights, and then like I would be studying, I would eat like ramen, and it's not like the nice $10, $15 ramen. You sit down, it's, literally
No,
just
Mansion. What is
microwave.
it?
It's a,
Mansion? What like, isn't that
yeah,
the
like Maruchan is one of them.
Maruchan? Thank you.
Yeah, I don't want
I
to say they're not like a bad brand. It's just it wasn't good. And I did
No,
drink
girl,
sodas.
got me
And
through
it was,
got me through college and like high school too. So thank
yes,
you. But
and that
it's probably not
yeah,
the
that was the
healthiest.
time. I
Yeah.
know when you realize you didn't care. You were just like, okay, I just need something quick, and I
Yeah.
needed something real like cheap, and I needed
Yeah.
to just keep going. And I also had a lot just going on, so all of
Yeah.
those stressors, um, just it was a lot.
And you were talking about your family business. When you were working with them, that was in college as well?
Yes.
Okay. So you had a lot in addition to studying and trying to do college, which can be challenging enough on its own. You were also working in the family business. I worked with my family throughout college, so I understand it's a lot.
Hmm. It was a lot. And it was in New Jersey, and I went to school in Boston. So there
Okay.
was 2 years where I would commute every week. Like I would have classes Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday night, and it's a 4 hour, 5 hour drive,
Yeah.
or it could be like a 6 hour like public transportation, like a whole thing. I would take an Uber to the bus South Station, which is the Boston bus station, take a bus like a Greyhound to New York Penn Station, and then take the NJ Transit back to my home.
Oh.
Every Wednesday night, work Thursday, Friday, and then do go back Thursday, Friday night because I
Yeah.
wanted a social life in college,
Oh
Saturday
my
and
gosh.
Sunday. So that and the Maruchan and like it was just my stomach was it couldn't handle it.
I mean, I don't think most adults could handle that. That's a very, very intense schedule, but let alone for somebody so young. But it sounds like, and I know this from my own experience working with my family who happened to work in entertainment, you learned an incredible amount of skills of knowledge that are now carrying you into
Yes.
entrepreneurship, right? So I guess in some ways it's all worth it. So now
Hmm.
let's talk about these masks. So how did you get
Sure.
the idea? Because they are adorable. They all look like they're in the cutest packaging that looks like,
Hmm.
healthy drinks, raw juices, plant-based milks. Um, what, why, so you were talking about you got into masks. What made you sort of make that connection with masks and raw foods?
Yeah, of course. ESW Beauty, essentially, when people ask me if I gave one line, it's healthy living, it's clean beauty, skincare inspired by healthy living. I
Okay.
wanted to combine my two passions. So healthy living, it really, that was my entire journey. And right now it's beverages. We have three lines now, but eventually, my passion is for every line. I create the products that I love, but then also have them inspired by, what led me through my health journey. And every day it's still, continuing. Um, and the raw juice sheet masks was because raw juices were kind of like that playful drink that I really got into. And sheet masks, because they were really that product that I needed when I was having those moments. It was something that saved my skin. And, I always wanted to be an entrepreneur since a young age. I saw my mom, she was an entrepreneur. She had a couple of ventures, and then now she's half retired, really. But I've always wanted to create something of my own. So I wanted to kind of combine my two passions together. And that's how the first line was born.
Amazing. So now, these masks, which I said are, I love them because I went on a giant family trip to Hawaii,
Hmm.
and have nieces and nephews who, range from
Yeah,
teenagers,
I
up to their
remember. Yeah.
20s. And I sent you the picture. I got my
Hmm.
nephews to do it and they loved it. My husband, my
Stop.
brother-in-laws, it was great. We were all kind of masking up. But what I really liked is that it really is for all ages because I knew that it was clean ingredients. So I was not worried about giving it to my teenage niece. And then certainly, my sister-in-laws who are, 50 plus were loving them too because it gave us that hydration and moisture that we super needed.
Yeah, thank you. It's definitely for all ages. Each one targets a different skin concern, and there's no exact rhyme or reason why and when you need to use it. I use it everywhere. I always have a couple with me,
Yeah.
like of course at home, at night, in the morning. But then on the plane too, like I have to use a sheet mask on the plane, like mandatory, because especially long flights. I just came back from a long trip to Asia, and
Right.
that was 16 hours, and I needed to. I was like, no, my skin is drying out. Sheet mask, and I wore like a lip treatment. I'm like, okay, now I can finally feel, not like so like I'm dead.
Like a raisin, right? Right. They
Yeah,
say this, it's like, think
exactly.
about your skin, right? A grape versus a raisin. When you take that
Hmm.
moisture out of a grape, what does it turn into? A wrinkly raisin. Same thing for our
Yes.
skin. Um,
Yeah.
so wait, are you one of those people? Because I have to be honest here. I always travel with sheet masks. They are in my bag
Hmm.
all the time.
Yeah.
But I have not done one on a plane. I
You
generally do
have
them
to.
afterwards, like when I get to the hotel. You do it on the plane?
I do it definitely on the plane.
Okay.
No shame. And I think it was from Korea because I just went because we are working on our new line. And, Koreans, they love their skincare.
Right.
And honestly, it wasn't like a big deal. People were like, oh, okay, yeah, you're doing a sheet mask, nice, and just minding their own business.
Totally.
Like
I
this
mean,
is
listen,
common.
planes are pretty disgusting anyway, and you really see
Yeah.
like the worst of people. My pet peeve is when people um take you off your shoes, fine. Don't take
Hmm.
off your socks.
Oh no, I can't.
I know, like take off your shoes. I get it. Like we want to take our shoes off, your feet swell, you want to be cozy, but keep your socks
Hmm.
on.
I know. Or when people are kicking me in the back seat, like right behind me, I'm like,
Oh,
I can't right
I
now.
can't.
Like I'm
I
trying
can't.
to sleep. I have a red
Or
eye.
or when you've been in like a place where somebody like will put their bare foot up like on the armrest between you and you like kind of look down and you see toes. That's when I'm like,
Yes.
no, no, excuse me. We have to rectify the situation.
Yes,
If you're one of
please
those
just
people,
move your feet.
do a sheet mask instead. So I got it, right? No shame on a plane. And I
Hmm.
love that you're like no shame. And of course, you know what? It's actually probably good press and marketing for you to be doing that. If people ask, "Hey, what are you doing?" You're like, "Here." Now,
Sheet mask.
do you give sheet masks to everybody? Are you trying to like do that revolution?
I do. I give it to everyone, all my friends. I'm always like, oh, I want to send you some masks. Or, like sometimes on the plane, like we were at a trade show last summer and I went also with my team too. And then my team, they were so funny. They were giving it out on the plane too.
Oh,
And we do
cute.
these like fun things for TikTok where sometimes we'll be like in New York and filming a TikTok and just leaving 20 sheet masks in like Washington Square Park or something. And, hopefully people pick them up. Like,
Of course they do. By the way, my best girlfriends will make fun of me because I am, like I said, I love a sheet mask. I was so honored to have you on here because I am such a sheet mask queen. One of my girlfriends, we went to Europe, and I want to say she got stomach poisoning, but we didn't. We had a late night partying and drinking too
mm,
much, and she woke up feeling awful. And we have the funniest picture, which I will not post because she would kill me. But essentially, she was lying in bed, essentially dead. And I'm like, "Here, babes," and I whip out a sheet mask and I put it on her, and I put one on me, and it looks almost like I've kidnapped her and am like torturing her. And
oh my gosh.
but when we had a party to go to that night, radiant. She looked
Yes.
amazing. Amazing. So
She's
like,
probably so thankful. Like, thank God you did that.
like they're really good. Let's talk about some of your tools too, because you've got your
Mhm.
3 lines of masks. Actually, before we do that, you've got the raw food, the raw juice line,
Yep.
you've got the
Yep.
plant milks, and then what is the third one?
The soothing tea facial tools.
But the facial tools, right? Okay, so 3 lines,
Yes.
not 3 different types of masks. Okay.
Right.
So let's talk about these tools because I feel like
Yes,
that's
of
become such
course.
a big trend.
Yes. I love facial tools and, I was thinking, what can I do to, I wanted to pair sheet masks with something useful.
Right.
So, the concept is soothing tea facial tools. There is no tea inside, but it's the mint green tea J crystal facial roller and the hibiscus by tea rose quartz gua sha. The reason why I wanted to connect that was because for me, tea was that self-care beverage, I would have in the morning, sometimes like right before I wanted to sleep, have a nice relaxing sleep. And those are what the facial tools resemble to me too, that
Right.
self-care tool. I don't just say skincare tool because they're definitely more than that. I love to use the facial roller over my sheet mask. So when I have the
Mhm.
mask on my face, the facial roller better helps absorb and removes the bubbles and it really pushes the serum and presses that into your skin. I love that. And it's great for depuffing under your eyes in the morning. Sometimes if, it's a late night, I definitely need to depuff my
Right.
eyes.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. And the gua sha, I love to use after I remove a sheet mask because there's still serum in your skin and it's really good as the foundation to help glide the tool. So it's great for contouring, sculpting, and even a massage tool. That's why I say it's not just a skincare tool because I don't just use it on my face. Oftentimes, if I feel like I have knots or if I'm just sitting and typing and my neck is sore, I use the gua sha and I just glide it over my neck. Or I'll use a
Yes.
sheet mask and then the serum in the pouch left over, pour a little where I want to use the gua sha over, and then I glide it and it really helps with the knots and it's nice. And sometimes, I can't always go to the get a masseuse, so
Right.
having the facial tools handy.
And that's something that you can keep on your desk and do. And you're so
Yeah.
right. It feels so good on the neck. And a little tip, you mentioned the extra serum in those pouches. Whenever I do a sheet mask, I will do my mask, put it on, and then I literally pour the serum out and it
Hmm.
goes everywhere because that's
Yeah.
good stuff. You don't want to waste that.
You
And I know
don't want to
some
waste
people will like
it.
put it in the fridge, which is really nice too. If you want kind of that cooling, if you
Hmm.
like a cool mask, that's really nice. Before we sort of wrap things up, I do want to talk about, you are not only an incredibly impressive young entrepreneur, but you're also giving back and really believe in women's empowerment. Can you talk a little
Yes.
bit about some of the initiatives that you're involved in?
Yes, absolutely. So we partner with a local organization called Women Aware. So we are based in Monmouth County, and they're in the county right next door called Middlesex County, and they are a women's shelter. And basically, to me, I hold very close to my heart. I'm always supporting women is very important, and especially the ones in need. Sometimes they, have physical abuse from, family members. They have nowhere to go. And for me, I really support these initiatives and these organizations that are able to take these women in. So what we do is every month we donate 10% of our online profits to Women Aware.
That's amazing and incredible. And I would say to anybody listening right now, working in beauty and having access to a lot of things, personally have donated a lot of beauty products to women's shelters. It's a wonderful thing to do because, like you said, for all different reasons, these women can go there. And it's not just women, sometimes it's their children too. And,
Yes,
to have that ability to take time and have that wellness moment for any woman is so key and so important. So I want to thank you so much.
thank you.
What's coming up next for you?
Exciting stuff. Next year we do have at least one line, possibly two lines launching,
Okay.
and it will be launching in May to June.
Okay.
Not a sheet mask, but another amazing product that I have been testing every day now.
Oh,
Um, yeah, we are working on it right now. I just came back from Korea, so we've been in process of testing all of that, and I'm excited to share and some more retailers partnerships as well.
amazing. And so if people want to, they can go to your site because you have an impressive list of stores, retail stores that you're in.
Mhm.
And that's eswbeauty.com.
Yes.
eswbeauty.com. There's a store finder on there. You've got a cute, really blog, which has really some sort of nice lifestyle information. If people
Mhm.
want to know more about you, where can they find you on social?
Sure. So ESW Beauty, you can find us on at esw.beauty, or my Instagram personally is at Elina Sophia Wang. So if you ever have any questions or anything, or just want to talk beauty, skincare, you can feel free to message me.
I absolutely love that. I want to thank you so much, Elina, for being on with us today. And if you at home listening have any questions you want to pass on to Elina via me, you can always do that. Write me at hello@artbeautypodcast.com. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Art Beauty Podcast. And as always, we will see you next Tuesday. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.